Please stand while an honor guard composed of Simsbury High School graduates, including Deputy Chief Kowalski, Lieutenant Loftus, firefighters Travado, Zunino, Zenick, and Smith, and Department Photographer Beliveau, present the colors. We ask that you remain standing throughout the national anthem and the Pledge of Allegiance. Please join me for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Forward, march. Right, face. Forward, march.
Please be seated. Mrs. Willerup, members of the Board of Education, Mr. Curtis, Mr. O'Brien, administration, faculty, members of the clergy, parents, family, friends, and fellow graduates, welcome to the commencement ceremony of the Simsbury High School class of 2019. To the class of 2019, it has been an incredible honor to have served as your class president. I am proud to have represented such a motivated group of students committed to creating change in our community. I wish I could acknowledge everything that we've accomplished throughout our 4 years here at Simsbury High School. However, this would be impossible because our accomplishments as a class are so numerous and vast. Not only are we all-state athletes, but we are Simsbury singers, Connecticut Debate Association competitors, outspoken Earth's advocates, scholars helping seniors, Kiss Me Kate performers, Special Olympics volunteers, and so much more. We have studied hard in the classroom, created clubs to better our community, and worked together to succeed. Our incredible leadership has truly paved the way for the classes that follow. It is also impressive that for such a big class, we have grown so close and formed such strong relationships with one another. I am confident that I have learned just as much from my peers as I have from my teachers. We are not afraid to challenge each other, and we learn as a group. I am proud to be part of a class that truly takes care of one another. Furthermore, what makes us special is that we did not let any setbacks define our class. As I look back on our high school years, it would be inaccurate to say that everything was perfect. Each one of us has experienced failure, whether inconsequential or significant. However, we made sure these failures taught us determination and perseverance. In the words of our teachers, we are truly a class who refused to give up. We spent extensive hours in the math lab, received writing tutoring from one another, argued for every last point, even if it had no impact on our overall grade, and now we get to stand here together, accepting diplomas and celebrating hard work. The resilience we have shown will continue to prove valuable on our path to future success. Class of 2019, continue to communicate with kindness, lead with compassion, and contribute with sincerity. Find your purpose, but make sure to hold on to your sense of self along the way. Thank you for a great 4 years, and I know that each and every one of you will be successful in whatever lies ahead.
Good evening. This is definitely the most people I have ever spoken in front of before, so I just want to say I am honored and humbled to have been selected to stand before you and speak at such a wonderful occasion. Before I begin with my message, I just want to say that I have been continually impressed by the students and staff at Simsbury High School. I have visited many schools, I have known many teachers and administrators, and I have rarely encountered a school community as qualified and dedicated to the continuous learning of all students like Simsbury High Schools. The students here, my students, have made me so proud and have taught me so much about life and learning that I will forever remember and be indebted to you. You're all awesome. For those of you I haven't had the pleasure of meeting, my name is Andrew Bukalski. I've taught technology education and engineering in Simsbury for 14 and a half years. I've had the pleasure of working in a fantastic environment with an unbelievably capable team of teachers. In my case, this field spans many areas of concentration, from automotive technology through aerospace engineering. The topic I share with you today came at the advice of a great friend and mentor, Mr. Steve Petrina. He's behind me somewhere. What connects all the classes I teach is the idea that the path to success inevitably requires getting your hands dirty. Focusing on an outcome, having a passion, and diving in. Replacing a clutch on an old Saab is one way, Mr. Madano, if he's here. Wrapping a composite material around an airfoil to test the coefficient of drag is another. But so is working and contributing in a team of people that you have never met before, leaving yourself completely exposed to the outcome of your actions, or tackling a presentation that you didn't approach with much confidence, leaving yourself vulnerable by sharing your idea to solve a problem. All great ways to get your hands dirty. One incredible teacher here has shown me and countless students that the best engineers are well-rounded. The ones that have gotten their hands dirty by building, not just calculating and designing, but brainstorming, designing, building, and testing a machine, a car, a robot, by actually doing the building and working the materials. The limitations of the design and the construction become obvious, and the engineer has a whole new knowledge base to apply to future concepts. Getting your hands dirty means exploring the unknown around you and within you. It's intrinsic and extrinsic bravery. It means that instead of demanding success and focusing on winning, we work towards learning and persisting. We have a saying in motorcycle racing, slow is smooth and smooth is fast. Getting your hands dirty isn't always the most immediate form of gratification, but it's always accompanied with learning and growing. Being an auto shop teacher for the past 15 years, I've spent a lot of time getting my hands dirty. Grease, oil, dirt, dust, grime, all of it. But one thing it's allowed me to do is to see the different types of learners and different ways students can demonstrate success. Problem solving, grit, analytical thinking, reverse engineering, all skills that will enhance understanding in core academic areas. Skills that allow you to learn and work in a way that may not be conventionally measured or applied in that setting, but will provide a lifetime of usefulness. Getting your hands dirty should and will make its way back into societal norms. You have to try new things. You have to get into a problem in order to understand what's going on and to fix it. I've seen incredible displays of intelligence through the use of dirty hands. They show us that electronics have not obscured our connections with mechanical things, and that we are not becoming more distant from the people we know or the objects we own. Dirty hands demonstrate a determination to know not just that something works, but how it works. They show a commitment to a vocational disposition I believe is essential to the human condition. A commitment to curiosity. In order to get your hands dirty, though, you have to be willing to fail. Teachers know that there is immense value and potential for learning and failure, and we need to remember that. Some of my most memorable personal and professional experiences have come from trying something that I did not know I could complete and completing it. Encountering a conflict that seemed impossible to resolve and resolving it. You will undoubtedly be faced with situations that will ask you to get your hands dirty and possibly fail, but learn in the process. Whether it's approaching those roommates at orientation in a few months with an open heart, or changing the alternator in your car to save a few bucks. Do it. Fix something. Try something new. Defy the naysayers. In a time when we often measure ourselves against others by our differences rather than our similarities, we need to recognize the power of our actions. It's a great time in history to get your hands dirty. With that, Simsbury High School, class of 2019, keep your heart soft, your calluses thick, and your mind open. Thank you, and have a wonderful evening.
Graduates, faculty, family, and staff, it is an honor to speak to you this afternoon. Gosh, today is such a milestone. Looking back on these past 4 years, we've come so far. So let's go back to where it all started. See this? Well, no, you probably can't see this. It's a little far, I'm sorry. But this is a map. No, this is not a map of the school. This isn't even a map of the 3rd floor. No, this is a map of the lobby, handmade the night before the first day of freshman year. Coming into a high school full of 1,600 kids from a tiny Catholic school of 200 was really intimidating, especially with a face full of acne and with my only friend being my brother and that nice girl who made the map for me. So it's no surprise that I'm honestly a nervous wreck on the first day of high school. I get to my first class, science. I'm thinking, okay, this could be all right. The teacher takes attendance and they call Grace, so I raise my hand. Oh man, it's not till the end of class that I realized the teacher was taking attendance for a different Grace and that I'm not only in the wrong class, but the wrong floor. Yeah, freshman year took a lot of adjusting. We were all a bunch of scared kids. But as the weeks began to pass, we started to get the hang of things. We no longer had to walk around with a schedule in one hand or have to ask what wing we were in. You know, we thought we could map out our time at SHS, but we realized that there were a lot of things we couldn't plan for. Like freshman year, when some chicken nugs accidentally set off a fire at our first pep rally. Or sophomore and junior year. We couldn't map out clear solutions to the pressures we would face trying to manage school, family, friends, classes, and SATs. And we couldn't plan on becoming the exceptional group of individuals standing here today. We didn't plan to have outdone our past perceived notions, and we didn't plan to discover certain aspects of school and of life that were truly meaningful to us. Our time at Simsbury has been an extraordinary stepping stone for what's to come. But sometimes, just like our freshman selves or our kindergarten selves, we think we can map out the entire road ahead of us. When we were in kindergarten, we knew it all. We knew where we would live. We knew how many kids we would have. We even knew the exact name of our future dog, so basically everything. But the truth is, we don't know everything. See, there's so many twists and turns in life that we can't plan for. And the thing is, we're going to be little again. From here on out, we are going to be the young ones wherever we go. But that's okay. Because as we move forward to this new chapter in life, we can take some advice that we learned when we were little, since we actually had it more figured out than we thought. So, let's remember that milk and cookies can sometimes be good for us. Let's be curious. Let's ask questions and never stop learning. Let's use our imagination. Life's all about perspective, and it's all about what we see and how we see it. So let's choose to see the good. Let's let things go. The only person we'll ever be able to control is ourselves. So let's not worry over what we can't control and go outside and play. Let's put our phones down and have an old-fashioned conversation every now and then. Let's abide by the golden rule. Treat others the way we want to be treated. You know, what seems like a simple, kind word really can have the power to change someone's life. And most of all, let's never, ever limit ourselves. As little kids, we had so many dreams, but somewhere along the way, our dreams seem to have faded into the background. Let's take our dreams back. Our biggest critic in life is ourselves, and the only limits we have are those of which we impose upon ourselves. Let's let go of those limits and become exactly who we were meant to be. That way, we'll light up this world. And lastly, let's thank those countless and oftentimes unnamed individuals who have formed us into the people we are today. To the bus drivers, to the custodians and security guards, to the teachers and coaches, to the parents and grandparents, little sisters and big brothers, aunts and uncles, and to God. Thank you and congratulations to the class of 2019.
You're broken down and tired of living life on the merry-go-round, but you can't find the fighter. But I see it in you, so we gon' work it out. We gon' work it out. Silence isn't quiet, and it feels like it's getting hard to breathe. And I know you feel like dying, but I promise we'll take the road to its feet. Mountain, bring the road to its feet.
To a lot of people, graduation is just a routine that happens after 4 years of high school. But to me and my family, it's way more than that. Let me back up a little. Hello, my name is Troy Crow. If you didn't know that already, you've been living under a rock. Another thing you should know, I don't live in Simsbury. I live in Hartford. And I'm in a program called the Open Choice Program, which gives urban kids the opportunity to go to suburban communities, vice versa. One last thing you should know about me that you probably would never know. The only book I read entire 4 years was The Odyssey. Sorry, teachers. This remains my favorite book, and I still think about it to this day. Even though the main character messed up a lot on his journey, he still managed to stay on track and get back home. Odysseus, he made some big moves, and I often think about how all his choices, the good and the bad, and how they contribute to his journey. I want to tell you a quick story about how I became a student in the program, because it has everything to do with choices and journeys. I was listed as special needs when I was in kindergarten in Hartford, and my grandmother, knowing something else was going on, pulled me from the schools and thus started the mini hearing tests and the tube surgeries, and opened the doors to many choices, including the choice program. As the word choice comes to mind, I think about how hard the choice was for my grandmother to make, but I can say she made the best choice for me. The education I was able to obtain from Squadron Line to SHS is incredible. That's why I want to thank my grandmother for being my #1 supporter. Without her, I would not be on the stage graduating, let alone give a speech. So thank you. This little poem was for the both of us. Big moves, big choices, and big journeys started a long time ago for me. Having the option to choose is great, right? Let me tell you, choices are hard, man. Ironically, the choice program didn't feel like much of a choice in some ways. Most of you guys choose to wake up at 6:30 or 6:45, choose to get in a car to drive to school, choose to stay after school, choose to go to a friend's house. For me, a lot of those choices aren't there. I had to wake up at 5:30 in the morning to catch a bus that came at 6:10 or 6:12. I did it for 12 years, but I got through it because I had no choice. But now, as I stand on the stage, I see that it was part of the bigger journey. Like Odysseus, who had the battle, he fought, and he lost. Those are all choices to keep going and eventually get home. All these hard choices and journeys to and from Hartford, we're actually creating a new home in Simsbury, giving me the best possible chance. My boy Odysseus and I know that choice is scary, and it can lead to trouble. Odysseus battled the Cyclops, and I had battle being a new kid at lunch at Squadron. Turns out, way easier than Cyclops. By the end of lunch, that had changed, because I made as many friends as I could. Looking back though, I wish there's some choices I did over. Odysseus' name actually means trouble, and we again have something in common, because I encountered trouble time or two, maybe 3. Strangely enough, my name Troy actually means foot soldier. Thinking about my choices I made in the past 4 years, yes, certainly I got my fair share of trouble, but the meaning behind my name kept me going. I soldier on, learning as I go, and remembering choices create character. Simsbury High taught me way more than school. They taught me a lot of life lessons and common sense that I was surprised to keep and maybe use. Most importantly, choices bring opportunity. The choice to play football, the best choice in my high school career, brought me a brotherhood bond that no other sport can build. I made the choice to play rugby, and it's an opportunity to learn something new. The newest choice was to join the Unified Wellness class, which really changed the way I treat others and gave me the opportunity to form new friendships. Class of 2019, now you have your choice to go out in the world and continue your own journey. Odysseus had the opposite problem from us. He was trying to get home. For us, we are going to leave home. Whether home in Simsbury, Hartford, or both, just make big moves. We will always be guided by the idea of home because it taught us so much. Like Odysseus and I learned, journey leads to choices. It's going to be scary. You are going to mess up, but you're going to have so many opportunities. Homer once wrote, "The journey is the thing." I hope you stay out of trouble. Choose your battles wisely, please, and always be reminded of home. Big choices, big journeys ahead, and big moves. Class of 2019, thank you, and I'm out.
A month ago, on a beautiful May day with sunny skies and warm breezes, my mom picked up the class of 2019 yard sign. I placed it in her front lawn as she looked at me with teary eyes. "Contra viento y marea," she whispered to me. Against all odds, we made it. Who knew that small sign would be so symbolic of the sacrifices that brought me here? My family moved to Simsbury 5 years ago. It was a time of firsts. First time in Connecticut. First time living in America. And first time being in such a culture. To this day, I get asked what brought my family to Simsbury, and I find it simultaneously easy and difficult to respond. I could say my dad's diplomacy is responsible. But that doesn't tell the full story of how I, with a dad from Arequipa and a mom more limeña than ceviche, I'm standing here giving this speech. The real reason is my parents' relentless pursuit to give me and my siblings the best lives we can have. The way to do this is through a good education. My mom grew up in extreme poverty. She has told me of times in which she had nothing to eat, of living in a house no bigger than her kitchen, of sharing a bed with her 19-year-old mom and younger brother. How did she end up in a 2-floor house with a pool in the backyard? My grandfather, somehow, someway, managed to put her through college. Being one of the few in her family to finish high school, and the very first one to go to college, this opened doors for her that she'd never imagined. She majored in business administration and, through hard work and much studying, got a job at the government's taxation agency. My mom, at the age of 20, was then able to support not only herself, but both of her parents and her 4 younger siblings. The reason? She had the privilege of a good education. At this university, my mom met my dad. Similar to her, my father's family did not have much money. At 17, he worked hard to get a scholarship for the university's law school. He has a natural capacity for knowledge that never ceases to amaze me. You can ask him right now about praying concultors or Napoleon, and I am confident that he will give you the right answer. His schooling drove him forward, to reach for more than his family did. It also pushed him to fight for justice, leading protests as a student and now working for the Ministry of Foreign Affairs, representing Peru in Belgium and South Korea. My dad, born into a family of veterans, living in Europe and America, holding meetings with our country's congressmen and government officials from Qatar, all because he received an excellent education that moved him forward. Most of us had the privilege of receiving a great education throughout our lives, and we attended a high school as excellent as SHS. The past 12 years have opened a million doors that will potentially guide you into a wonderful future. Just like my mom in the streets of Barranco could not have predicted she'd end up living her dream, working as a mother, sacrificing everything for her kids. And just like my dad, who ended up representing our nation in different continents, we don't know where we'll be in 20 years. My parents came from nothing and got everything thanks to their effort and education. Now imagine just how far we will go. So celebrate your cap and gown, your yearbook, your tassel, because against all odds, with all the efforts made by our moms, dads, educators, ourselves, we pushed through so that we could look at that small sign and say that we made it. Gracias, mamá y papá, los amo. And congrats, class of 2019, we did it.
Take me to your best friend's house, go around this roundabout, oh yeah. Oh, take me to your best friend's house, I loved you then, I love you now, oh yeah.
Don't take me tongue-tied. Don't wave no goodbye. Don't take me to your best friend's house. Marmalade, we're making out, oh yeah. Take me to your best friend's house. I loved you then, I love you now, oh yeah. Don't take me tongue-tied. Don't wave no goodbye. Don't. 1, 2, 3, 4. Don't take me tongue-tied. Let's stay up all night. I'll get real high. Slumber party, pillow fight. My eyes in your eyes like Peter Pan up in the sky. My best friend's house tonight. Let's blow the beat, still Betty by.
Don't take me tongue-tied. Don't wave no goodbye. Don't take me tongue-tied. Don't wave no goodbye.
Oh, take me to your best friend's house. Go around this round.
Class of 2019, good evening, and congratulations on completing your requirements for graduation. 4 years ago, we stepped into Simsbury High School together, and looking back, it really seems like yesterday. The time has flown by, and over the past 4 years, we've learned a lot together. Each class is unique, and you've distinguished yourselves as a class with great compassion for others, a level of maturity that belies your years, and a sense of unity and purpose that is truly inspiring. Your compassion for others could be seen through the selfless acts that you carried out and the organizations that you created. Organizations like Project Lisa, that raised funds for computers to open the world to young people in India. SCORE gathered recycled sports equipment to get those to kids so they could be on the field to build friendships and pursue their dreams. Connect for Cancer raised funds to support child oncology patients and their families. And Hope for the Homeless collected supplies to help the homeless meet their needs for self-care, and many of you volunteered your time to serve them meals in soup kitchens as well. You crafted hundreds of freedom pens for our servicemen and women, sang your hearts out in the holiday cabaret, and supported your classmates and your teachers when they needed it the most. Your maturity could be seen in the thoughtful comments that you shared in our recenter discussion circles and in the disciplined approach that you brought to your studies, achieving high scores on AP and SAT with numerous commended scholars and 7 National Merit Scholars. You reached new heights in the visual and performing arts. We laughed during Kiss Me Kate, and the Laramie Project enabled us to see how healing can occur after senseless acts of violence. Your class displayed unity at home and abroad by traveling to Ireland, China, Costa Rica, Spain, France, and Italy, winning state championships in girls crew and girls rugby. Go ahead, give it up. Earning division championships in unified basketball and wrestling. By keeping the Route 44 Classic Trophy in Simsbury where it belongs after a 42-6 rout in the Thanksgiving football game. Taking 3rd place at the New Englands in the girls 4x800. Earning a gold medal in fencing. And taking your love of athletics to the next level with 23 of you signing commitments to participate in college athletic programs. Class of 2019, you really are an impressive group of young men and women. And your class president, Caitlin Isikoff, summed it up nicely when she said, "You know, Mr. O'Brien, we've never really done anything crazy or embarrassing, right?" I said, "Yeah, except for making a slip and slide in the courtyard last Friday. But you know what? Hey, that even showed creativity and imagination, and for that we thank you very much." It was nicely done. So while your class has been unified and compassionate and responsible, we've seen more than a fair amount of division and unrest in the world. Yet in spite of all of those issues, it's still a world of incredible opportunity, beauty, and promise. A world that will benefit tremendously from the strength, kindness, and imagination that each one of you will bring to the table. But before moving forward, it's important to look at our history, because there's much that we can learn from the people that have come before us. You know, 1910 was a time that was very much like the time we are in today. It was a time of great unrest, with extreme weather, tough political debates, and serious social issues. In April of 1910, former President Theodore Roosevelt delivered a speech at the University of Paris that has become one of his most highly referenced speeches. It was a call to action, and I believe that his words still resonate with us today. The segment of his speech that I'll be sharing with you shortly is often referred to as the man in the arena. I've taken the liberty of making some minor edits to reflect the contribution of people regardless of their gender. The Man in the Arena by Theodore Roosevelt from a speech at the Sorbonne. It's not the critic who counts, not the one who points out how the strong person stumbled or how the doer of deeds might have done them better. The credit belongs to the individual who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred with sweat and dust and blood, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes up short again and again, who knows the great enthusiasms, the great devotions, and spends themselves in a worthy cause, who, if they win, knows the triumph of high achievement, and who, if he or she fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that their place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who know neither victory nor defeat. Class of 2019, it's time for you to step from the bleachers and take your place in the arena. Realize that all of you have greatness in you. Strive valiantly for a worthy cause. Swing for the fences. Lean into the uncertainty. And know that failure is a natural and necessary part of your growth. So don't run away or shrink from it, but embrace it as one of your greatest teachers. And finally, understand that this life is meant to be lived with passion and sincerity. Savor every moment and enjoy the ride. This is your time. Congratulations. Class of 2019, you've attended one of the best high schools in the country. You've completed your assignments, solved problems, and passed all of the necessary tests. Your basic training is over. Now it's time to get your hands dirty and start making some big moves. Superintendent Curtis, members of the Simsbury Public Schools Board of Education, I hereby attest that I have reviewed the academic credentials of the students that are seated here before us today, and that they have met all of the requirements for graduation. It is my great honor to present for the awarding of diplomas, Simsbury High School's class of 2019.
All right, are we ready? All right. Caitlin Julia Isaacoff. Abigail Marie Interante. Michael Peter Gunderson. Lucas Riley Watson. Rachel Abbott. Samantha Ann Ayathure. Attilio Aldo Albani III. Patrick Dennison Aldrich. Akil Alkatabe. Alexis Alvarado. Robin Okosia Ampadu. Tara Ellen Andrews. Thomas Francis Andrews Jr. Peyton Lee Arsenal. Nehemiah Danielle Arzu. Sanjeev Ashok Kumar. John Anthony Avis. Michaela Danielle Barlow. Ward O'Hara Barrett. Ethan Hunter Bash. Alexa Rose Bates. Ethan Antonio Batista. Luke Thomas Bazzano. Faith Alexandra Bollier. Madeline Felice Bechene. Kyle William Beckius. Nicholas James Beckius. Mark Jeffrey Bedson.
Lauren Elizabeth Beiser. Cody Emil Bellinger. Ryan Mitchell Bellitz. Judy Bergman. Andrew Joseph Bassett. Natalie Marina Bila. Zane B. Black. Elizabeth Dunbar Blymester. Alexa Bobinski. Joseph Maxwell Bogdan. Evan James Beloga. Leah Danielle Bonchik. William Duncan Bonnell. Adam Richard Bosenberg. Joshua Stephen Boswell. Awesome Blobby. Nathaniel David Bouchard. Kurt Andrew Bedson. Maddie Bork. Keep going, Matt. You're doing great. Trevor Richard Boyson. Xavier Gustav Braun. Carly Elizabeth Bryan. Jeffrey Lawrence Brian. Aiden Michael Brown. Lewis William Brown. Jackson Daniel Brush. Margaret Christian Budlong. Jackson Donald Butler. Nicole Marie Caesar. Gregory Damon Callahan. Richard Candelario, Jr. Catherine Elise Cantelmo. Layla Carrington. Ryan Andrew Casalino. Nicholas Byron Casper. Ryan Andrew Caulfield. Mason Kane Yackel. Bianca Ann Ciolin. Colby Kenneth Chase. Clue Ifechukwude Chelanor. Lalit Raj Chung. Ishika Chowdhury. Kelly Ann Clifford. John Michael Cody. Evan Roy Condorino. Ella Craig Knarton. Daniel Chan Coppinger. Nicholas Costa. Ava Michelle Kushan. Colin Spencer Kremen. Ariana Star Crombez. Troy Lamont Crow. Grace Elizabeth Minchong Cummings.
Lucas Mason Dargis. Vance Kelly Davidson. Christopher Peter Svend Davies. Hope Elizabeth Deckers. Braden Chase Deegan. John Michael DeMeo. William James Dempsey. Grace Carolyn Domoshinsky. Matthew James Donahue. Justin Bradford Donnelly. Jack Lewis D'Onofrio. Aaron Julia Donahue. Samantha Hope Dording. Griffin James Dorman. Isabel Jane Dowd. Lilia Megan Dunnigan. Michael Ryan Dwyer. Elijah Franklin Eckert. Caroline Eileen Egan. Samuel Mark Erzinghaus. Madeline Daisy Fabian. Julia Marie Feeney. Brianna Mackenzie Ferrara. Mark Anthony Ficcaro. Cedar Sean Fillmore. Jillian Barrett Forsberg. Catherine Elizabeth Francis.
Stephanie Jenna Fridkin. Brian Henry Friedland. David R. Fu. Bernard Doherty Gaffney. Sydney Jane Gagne. Corey Matthew Gallagher. Katie Ann Galtz. Emily Christina Gilio. Shayna Alexis Gleason. Veronica Will Glick. Andrew James Godin. Madison Elizabeth Goldfarb. Avery Allen Gottschall. Brikenna Kraszewski. Shannon Kadion Grant. Christina Valeria Grasso. Jameson Scott Gray. Allison Haley Greighton. Benjamin Daniel Grossman. Leonardo Guerrero. Vincent Michael Gugliotti. Kate Ann Gunderson. Anna Lindsay Haggerty. Caden Christopher Hallscheid. Abigail Eileen Hamill. James Keatley Hamill. Elias Paul Hanna.
Christopher Paul Harville. Jordan Bryant Hawks. Sophie Elizabeth Hayes.
Ian Daniel Heath. Tegan Lee Hedman. Will Henry. Cole Henry Hermson. Alexander Eugene Hillemeyer. Laura Hinojosa Silva. Brian Peter Hoffman. Devin Kathleen Hoffman. Bennett Francis Holzman. Grace Huang. Trey Hume. Jamil Anthony Burgos Hutchins. Justin Thomas Hutchinson. Viator Miles Huang. Wyatt Edward Jacobson. Aaron Rose Jennings. Stephen Alexander Jimenez. Justin Rocky Johnson. Rebecca Rose Kasmerick. Andrew Gerald Keogh. Brooke Rochelle Kelly. Amelia Iris Kendrick. Abdul Aziz Khan. Jessica Elizabeth King. John Mark Nall. Sophia Grace Kodak. Michael Eric Krinsky. Caitlin Louise Khrushchevsky. Isabella Kuchorski. Kevin Joseph Kurian. Tyler Kenneth Ladden. Kira Ann Layupa. Matthew Joseph LaJoy. Jack O'Neill Lampkin. Anthony Michael Lantieri. Alec Michael Lobsher. Brittany Nicole Lowry. Valerie Rose Lee. Madeline Britt LaFranc. Peregrine Keegan Leonard. Dylan Michael Leonard. Jeffrey Aaron Lutan. Senior List. Isabella Claire Livingston. Matthew Tyler Loftus. Autumn Victoria Lucidon. Julia Ann Lukowitz. Calvin Christopher Little. Joe Madar. Lindsay Ilsa Madigan. Millicent Claire Malloy. Elena May Marchetti.
Amanda Grace Marecki. Griffin Daniel Massing. Joseph Thomas Mateo. Catherine Elizabeth May. Zoe Rose Mazer. Colleen Elizabeth McDermott. Kate Lee McDonough. Kevin William McDonough. Spencer Michael Meese. Uma Sandeep Mehta. Lauren Marie Melanson. Ellen Christina Meyer. Jacob Arden Minor. Bronwyn Avery Mock. Faizan Mosen. Emily Nicole Moretta. Colby Patrick Morkin. Kara Catherine Mortimer. Hajar Mustafa. Teresa Ann Mylander. Haley Elizabeth Nassambini. Scott David Nelson. Ethan Thomas Nigro. Bryson Carlos Nunez. Kyle Robert O'Brien. Grace Elizabeth O'Brien. Catherine Grace O'Connell. Lucia Marie O'Sullivan.
Jacob Allen Ober. Emma Colleen Willett. Gavin Connor Palazzo. Sydney Mia Palinkas. Ryan Scott Palmer. Lee Renee Parody. Cameron Jamal Perrin. Taeyeon Park. Alexander William Pastor. Gregory Roland Peach. Talon Courtney Purdue. Jaden Kai Perkins. Anton Petrenko. Brad Connor Paff. Peter Clark Phillips. Sarah Caitlin Poole. Jonathan M. Prell. Nicholas James Pugmire. Thomas David Pulley. Karina Ordway Putnam. Matthew Curtis Reese. Brian Christopher Regan. Brinley Domenicazina Rich. Connor William Richard. Emily Patricia Richards. Karen Elaine Richardson. Jacqueline Nicole Ritz. Patrick Ryan Rivero.
Alan Benraj Robin Wesley. Jana Marsha Robothan. Lauren A. Roderick. Sean Patrick Rogers. Lorena Catalina Rodriguez. Nicole Isabel Rodriguez. Nathan Thomas Rogers. Zachary Thomas Rohr. Anthony Michael Romanelli. Gabe Antonio Rosario. A.J. Rose. Haley Josephine Rose. Adele Joy Rosignol. Margaret Alice Rowland. Jacob Archer Raleigh. Alexa Christine Rozbatsky. Nathan P. Ribsick. Kira Elizabeth Sanborn Birch. Hannah Lynn Sanders. Sophia Ray Santiago Douglas. Christina Santillan. Andrew William Savarese. Aiden Thomas Schofstall. Mackenzie Grace Schulitz. Morgan Ashley Schultz. Maxwell Gerald Scully. Dylan Graham Seacamp. Amanda Jane Seeger. Anna Francesca Semmett. Patrick Francis Shanley. Manzi Sharma. Kyle Patrick Shaw. John Thomas Shea. Patrick Henry Sheridan. Aiden William Shagru. Catherine Fiona Sloan. Nola Harper Rose Smith. Brennan Grace Snyder. Deja Monet Soler. Rebecca Lynn Spinelli. Alexis May Staub. Bronson Edward Starzik. Zachary Joseph Staskowitz. Emily Ann Steele. Krista Rose Steinmetz. Megan Lynn Stepka. Grace Madeline Stewart. Adam Robert Stein. Timothy Joseph Stumper. Alberto Suarez Jr. Grace Marie Sullivan. Charlotte Kathleen Tagliatella. Faith Elizabeth Tansky. Christian Edward Taylor. Hannah Elaine Thody.
Tommy John Thody. Annalise Glory Shingleton. Kevin Thomas Van Voris. Mason Brian Thompson. Cameron Grace Toner. Helen Tron. Rachel Ann Traubert. Amira Anissa Umar. Sean Armando Vargas Altamirano. Maria Fernanda Vargaya Gatica. Rodrigo Vasquez. Christopher Cole Verrill. Jessica Gail Vetrano. Megan Ann Walsh. Austin Angelina Watson. Gavin Andrew Watt. Dylan Ray Worley. Ian Patrick Worley. Parker Kenneth West. Emily Gabrielle Wedham. Alexander James Willebnicki. Colin Thomas Wild. Evan Bennett Williams. Jalen Mackay Williams. Jaden Allen Williams. Bruce Rudin Wilson. Ian Montgomery Wilson.
Ethan Robert Windish. Nicholas Michael Winiarski. Lauren Madison Winkleblack. Haley Alexis Winchell. Brooke Elizabeth Whitkin. Dana Louise Wojciechowski. Grace Kathleen Woznicki. Torben Henrik Wonderly. Faith Mewing Yee. William Joseph Young. Corey Brian Zhao. Jessica Marie Zambuto. Nicholas David Zell. Emma Grace Zemaitis.
Congratulations, graduates. Thank you all for attending tonight's ceremony. Families are asked to meet their graduates in the back field after they proceed through the faculty tunnel. The only thing we have left to do is throw our caps in the air after we count to 3. 1, 2, 3. Thank you all. Have a good night.
hustling and tonight is my appraisal. Cause I'm a hooker selling songs and my pimp's a record label. This world is full of demon stocks and bonds and Bible traders. So I do the deed, get up and leave a climber and a sadist, yeah. Are you ready for the sequel? Are you ready for the latest? In the garden of evil, I'm gonna be the greatest. In a golden cathedral, I'll be praying for the faithless. And if you lose, boo-hoo. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Hey, look, ma, I made it. Everything's coming up aces, aces. If it's a dream, don't wake me, don't wake me. I said, hey, look, ma, I made it. Friends are happy for me, or they're honeysuckle phonies. Then they celebrate my medals, or they wanna take my trophies. Some are loyal soldiers, while these other thorns are rosy. And if you never know who you can trust, then trust me, you're